Hello YouTube fans, this is TheSkullKlown. I'm here to review WrestleMania 38 night 1. So, if you don't mind, I'm actually kind of rolling a blunt and shit like that. So, you guys, I hope you don't mind me just talking and rolling. You know, sit back, relax, do what you have to do in your house if you're doing it. You know, if you want to listen to meditation music too, también, I don't care what you do. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy my commentary. Anyway, my comments on WrestleMania. And first and foremost, how do I feel about this Mania? To be quite honest, part 1 was actually solid. I give it a 7 out of 10, you know. So, and once night 2 happens, I'm sure there'll be a couple of matches that are going to be awesome. Like, Edge versus AJ Styles. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fucking match right now. How to the fuck yeah? Oh yeah? You know? You mean to tell me AJ Styles and Edge is not going to be good? Are you high? Edge that is a heel? Oh, I'm going to faint. If it was AJ Styles as a heel, I would have been like, oh, be good. But Edge as a heel, you know what? It just went up to the scales a bit, in my opinion. Edge is phenomenal, no pun intended, as a heel. So let's start this. I am watching just Alex's commentary, so I'm just gonna go through the matches if we're gonna do that. Yeah. We're not gonna talk about that. Let's start with the first match of the night. The Usos and Shinsuke. I forgot the other guy's name. Hold on for a minute. Rick Boo. Okay. Took me a while for that. So I kind of figured that basically this match was a nice opener, to be quite honest. You know, you started with WrestleMania with a tag team match. Pretty good. So I'm just gonna flat out say it. The Usos won. They won in a pretty good match, but the thing is, the match would have been better if Boo didn't hurt himself. Yeah, he got injured. Mainly because what happened? The Uso, like, he was picking one of the Uso brothers, and then the other Uso twin went on top of him, and his knee buckled and shit like that. I saw that shit, and I'm like, ooh. Then Shinsuke had to be part of the whole match. Basically, it was a handicap match after that. Yeah, handicap tag match. Yeah. You know, maybe they were going to win. They probably were going to win. But then he got injured. So, that goes to the Usos. So, the Usos win, and they open the card for the Mania match. Mania show. And by the way, I usually don't talk about the stages sometimes, and I wish I do. Sometimes I forget. Let's talk about the stage for this year's WrestleMania. This stage of WrestleMania looked good. Some people might hate it. I won't get the hate. To be quite honest, simple is better, to be quite honest. It's kind of like what they saw the WrestleMania 2 stage, and they were like, well, WrestleMania 32 stage, and they were like, let's bring that star and the WrestleMania sign down, and there we go. That's basically it. That is literally the WrestleMania 39 stage. and that's fine. I like stages when they're like that. Sometimes you do need to have the simplicity of a stage just to fit massive people. But let's continue on here. Let's see. The next match was, oh my fucking god. You know what? I didn't really remember this match, to be quite honest with you. Why? It's because I was actually talking about food with my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and then all of a sudden, when we were still talking about food, what to eat, the match ended. And that is Jude McIntyre versus Baron fucking goddamn Corbin. You know what? Let me tell you something about Corbin, to be quite honest. That promo that he did, I lost everything. I lost my kids. I lost my wife. Me and my sister started dying of laughter. How could I take that shit seriously? Was that for comedic effect? Was it really for comedic purposes? Because that shit was fucking hilarious. I couldn't even take him seriously. You know, if that was supposed to happen, like him acting that way, then okay, I get it. But if he was supposed to act genuine, oh, that's bad. That's really bad. And the reason I say that is because I haven't been really watching wrestling all that much, so I can't really say if it was or wasn't. But that shit was so funny as fuck. It's like, that is me with the promo. That is me on the truck. That is not you, man. Ah! Are you serious? Come on, man. Come on. And look, I've been giving shit to Barry Corbin a little bit sometimes because he's the guy that beat retired Kurt Angle, and I'm not going to hate him for that. I just hate him the fact that WWE used him for it. Why? Because to be honest, that match screamed of him facing John Cena, and we just never thought about it. Man, suck my fucking no, don't suck my dick. How about kiss my fucking goddamn ass? Kiss my fucking ass. All right. So I was trying to get into the match, but again, like I said, me and my sister were just talking about food, and then the match ended, and then all I see is Drew McIntyre grabbing his sword and slicing the ropes, and I'm literally like, the show was gonna continue on with no ropes now. Remember the time when the Big Show and Mark Henry broke the arena, and then they left the show like that? That's what I thought they were going to do. Imagine having a WrestleMania with no ropes because Drew McIntyre cut them. And that's it. That's how they want to save it. That would have been fucking hilarious. But moving on, let's go to the next match. Ooh, something that should have been the main event before Austin versus Kevin Owens. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. This match was good. Alright? It was good. To be quite honest with you. Alright? Becky had a good entrance and shit like that. She looked all gothy and shit like that. She looked like a fucking villain from Final Fantasy and shit like that. And Bianca, she looked like a million fucking bugs coming down that entrance and shit like that. It was great. It looked like fucking badass and shit like that. Her entrance was great. And then the match was good. The match was good. Bianca, I can see people talking shit about Bianca being like, oh, she didn't sell getting attacked on the steel steps and shit like that, because once the referee was counting down all the way to 7, 8, I was like, well, this is it. This is how the match ended. And my sister was like on the phone, like, yeah, this is how. And she immediately gets up and goes sliding into the fucking arena, and Becky just attacks her and then pins her and shit like that. And then she kicks out, and it's like, ah! I can see people complain about that, but at the same time, you're really going to complain about something like that? I mean, put yourself in that wrestler's shoes. You got hit on the steel steps, and it's for the title match, and the referee's literally counting down, and you're slowly falling, and the referee's literally on 5, and you're hearing 8, 9. You better get the fuck up and go back to that fucking goddamn ring. Alright? I don't give a fuck if you have a broken neck or a fucking broken leg. You push yourself in that ring, alright? Seriously. You push yourself in that ring. Use your broken leg to push yourself in it. I'm dead serious. Wrestlers actually do that. They fuck their injury even more just to spite themselves. Than to be even more out of fucking action. They used to do that back in the day, man. Now they don't. Now the referees make sure they don't do that because WWE doesn't want to spend that money. First of all. Second of all, shit. That's like putting more strain on yourself, and then you could retire early, to be quite honest with you. Hell, sometimes wrestlers do retire after that. So you gotta take in consideration of that. So this match was good. Bianca won. I'm glad she won. This match and the other match, I felt like I was literally telling myself, all right, if this goes on for a little like 3 or 5 minutes, it literally be too much. And right when I said that, it ended. The next match that is coming up too, it was basically the same thing how I felt, and it was good. Right when I said, "Oh, it should end," it ended, and I was like, "Oh, that was refreshing." You didn't make it like fucking 45 minutes. So there's that. So Bianca wins. I thought it was pretty dope. So the crowd went ape shit when Bianca picked up Becky. It was just like counterattack. picks her up, and it was like Austin level type shit. And then 1, 2, 3, yo, the crowd went nuts. That crowd went nuts. You know, you got some of the faces of the brothers going like, yo, Becky, Bianca. You know, stop naming these women wrestlers the same letters. Shit, you guys know I don't know my ABDs. So the next match is hold on. Wait. Never mind. All right. Yeah. This next match, the Mysterios versus The Miz and Logan fucking goddamn fucking piss all Paul. Me and my brother-in-law were just talking during this match, and we were watching it too. But he also pointed out the fact, like, how can I take this shit seriously? And I was discussing my sister it too. I'm like, if Logan Paul is in here, I should be here. Actually, no, my brother-in-law was playing the game, and me and my sister were talking about it. Sorry. I was literally watching it, and I was talking to my sister saying, me and you should be here. Hell, my brother-in-law should be here. And he thought I'd put him under the bus and shit. Like, he was like, what are you guys talking about? But, yo, once I saw that shit, I was just like, so I should be at Mania. Next year, I should be at Mania. WWE, I want my match. I want to fight Taker. Bury a live match. Alright? Bury a live match at WrestleMania. And I'll be like, you're not... And then, here's the promo. Your career's not over until I say it's over. Until I bury you. There's the promo. Yeah, I'm done. So, to be quite honest, people thought the next match that's coming up with the whole Seth Rollins stuff, I will get to that soon. People thought that Undertaker will probably do it, or Bray Wyatt will come. Or here comes the money. Here we go. Here comes the money. Money. Anyways, back to the Miz match. This match, to be quite honest, I didn't really care for. It was not bad, to be quite honest. It wasn't that terrible. It wasn't that bad. The wrestlers did what they had to do. Logan Paul did what he had to do, basically. But the thing is, I'm not pissed at the Miz or Logan Paul. I'm pissed at the Mysterios, mainly because you have the Mysterios lose, and you don't have Rey Mysterio's son betray him. I was waiting for that shit, but no, they kept it on the fucking Miz and Logan Paul. I knew Logan Paul was going to win this match because when I was watching this match, it literally clicked in my head. I told my sister, "There's another streak during WrestleMania," and she's like, "What are you talking about?" There's another streak at Mania where no celebrity has ever lost at Mania. And that streak is still living. How long has that streak been going on? Since WrestleMania 1, actually. There's been a few WrestleManias that they didn't have no celebrities. But every time they did have celebrities, they won. Remember that, people. We have another streak. Not just the Undertakers. We have a celebrity streak. And the celebrity streak has beaten the Undertakers because no one has beaten the celebrity streak. People have beaten the Undertaker streak. People haven't beaten the celebrity streak. If you can remind me of when a celebrity lost, don't tell me WrestleMania 25. That does not fucking count. With Chris Jericho and shit, and the wrestler actor, no, that doesn't count. I'm sorry, that does not fucking goddamn count. It would never count. Okay? Chris Jericho was just fighting old farts, which was fine. He was supposed to fight that actor, but they didn't want him. His people didn't want him to do it, which is stupid because he would have won the match. He would. Chris Jericho even said he would have won it because that was the plan. That was the plan. Chris Jericho was promoting it and everything like that. Yo, Chris Jericho was on that shit. He was on that shit when the whole thing with that actor, the wrestler, and all that shit. So there is a streak with the celebrities, guys. Remember that. I think people don't know that streak. I've been knowing that streak for a long time, and it just clicked in my head yesterday, and I was just like, what the motherfucker, there's another streak. And it's a celebrity streak, and none of them haven't lost. Shit. And to be honest, The Rock does count. From WrestleMania 19 and also from WrestleMania 28. Those both count as celebrities. Sorry to say it. Some people might disagree with the 19 one. I will kind of agree a little bit with that one, but the 28 one, I would totally disagree with you with that. Because he is. At that point, he is. 19 you could bait, 28 you can't with me. You know? So. I'm waiting for Dominic Mysterio to betray his daddy so we can get the whole thing of like, I am Dominic Guerrero, not Dominic Mysterio. Eddie's my papi. Miz was right. You know, come on, man. When are you going to do this shit? When? When Ray's about to retire, hang it up? Now is the time, WWE. Now is the time. If you're not going to do anything on Monday with the whole Dominic and Mysterio thing, then you know what? Just drop it. Just drop the whole thing. Just forget about the whole them breaking up. And if you do it in the future, I won't give a fuck about it. Because now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. You can have a segment at WrestleMania of them talking and shit, and that's when you could do it. You can still do it. You can still do it today. And on Monday. But after that, if you don't do it on Monday or today, you're done. You're done with that. I don't care for it anymore. I don't. I just don't give a fuck about it. Tell me what you guys think about that. Seriously, because I just didn't, you know. And then at the end, you know, Miz attacked Logan Paul, which I was just hilarious. I just thought that was funny as fuck. Because I was literally telling myself, I feel sorry for the Miz. Because he has to fucking hang out with that motherfucker. And he's probably annoyed as shit. And you know what? I was right. Why do you think the Miz attacked him? Annoying ass. The crowd went like, well, I think the Miz went back to being a babyface now. I don't mind. I love the Miz as a babyface. I mean, I love him as a heel too, but to be quite honest, how can I hate the Miz? Not because, you know, he has a sexy ass wife, but he's good. he's a good talent. I can't hate the guy anymore, you know? Maybe back in the day when he was that chick magnet gimmick and shit like that, I did hated him, you know? You know, because he was a heel. Obviously, you hated him. But nowadays, man, I can't hate the bad guys anymore, man. I hate more of the good guys. I do need to watch that documentary of Evil. That looks good. That looks really good. So, moving on with that. So, the next match, we have Seth Rollins versus The Undertaker. No. Bray Wyatt. No. John Cena. No. I don't know. Who? What? Are you kidding me? Cody, man. Look, some people are upset, and you know what? I don't blame you. Cody going to WWE, back to WWE after everything from AEW and everything like that. I'm just like, wow, man. Wow. And Cody did have a response of all of that. He said that, hey, it was just time for him to leave. Which just tells me that he was tiptoeing around me in the fucking goddamn subject, too. You can tell he just said that. Because it's his ego, man. We all know it's his ego. It's all about money. It's all about other things, man. Because look at that WrestleMania paycheck compared to the AEW paycheck. And Cody did just establish, and the thing is too, I already been saying this for a long time, and other people have saying this too. You need to leave WWE for them to pay attention to you. And that is what Cody did. For crying out loud, when Batista left to do movies, they laughed at him. And then when Guardians of the Galaxy did great, they were kissing his ass. Oh, congratulations, Batista. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You didn't give a shit now, so now you give a shit already? You didn't give a shit then, now you give a shit now? Bullcrap, man. Bullcrap. And then you didn't want to give Batista what he wanted. a retirement match with Triple H, which he got, yes, but he had to ask for so much of that shit. So I think now it's officially established, even though we already know it's been like that for years. It's now officially stamped that you do need to leave the company for even to get fucking recognized now. So all you wrestlers that have been wanting every fucking thing that you want from WWE, just leave. Leave and come back. For crying out loud, there's been other people that were in WWE back then that were a little bit, you know, when their Attitude Era was happening, then they eventually came back when they left, you know, when that Hogan stuff happened, and then they eventually came back when the Attitude Era was getting really good and shit like that. And some wrestlers were like, I had to leave to get good and then come back. And it's true though. Sometimes even if you're not that big of a name, WWE is going to get you back. Either you come back or they get you back. Either because they need a guy that's like you, or they just think that you just be good. Or they have something for you. Hey, if they don't, then they don't, you know. But they hired you for a reason. I say that much right now. You know, if you didn't went with them and they hired you, it's probably for a reason. You know, and if it's something for stupidity just to laugh at you, at that point, I'll actually will sue the company. I think you can actually sue the company just for that shit. Hey, could I be gone? Of course. But it's like hiring a person because, oh, I'm going to hire this person because they're black or white. Nothing about the creative differences or anything like that. Not if they're good at the job or something like that. I just want to hire them because of that. Let's hire this doctor because we don't have enough Hispanic people as doctors. But he doesn't, he's not a doctor, sir. Give him that degree. But sir, give him that degree. You know? Some stupid shit like that. So, this match, Cody Rhodes versus Seth fucking Rollins. This match was actually good. Alright, this match was actually good. The crowd went apeshit. And me and my sister all this time was just looking at the screen like, is he gonna regret it later? And the thing is too, that whole thing that I said about they just established what I said. If Cody or WWE treats Cody like shit, then all of that, what I said or what they established just died. And that tells everyone else that if you go to WWE, if you were in WWE and you left and you do something, they're just going to tear you down. And the thing is, isn't it not the first time they do that though? Oh, I left, I came back, respect me. No. And then they just treat you like shit upon shit upon shit. And then you're still there. How many times they had to do that to Zack Ryder? Got himself over the internet. Oh, no. That's all I hear is cry. All I hear is crybabies. Oh, you didn't do it under our umbrella, so that way it is evil and it's heinous. What a sin. How dare you go after the Bible of WWE? And what is that? You don't even follow your own fucking goddamn rules. You released your own rule book, and you don't even follow that. I was actually going to get it, by the way. I was. I still might get it, just to fucking be like, WWE, you fucked up. Hold on, let me see. You see? On page 51, you say, and I quote, just to piss him off. Yeah. This match was good. Cody paying homage to his father was great. And Cody paying homage to Randy Orton. RKO! Out of nowhere! Yo. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. I don't care if Matt Riddle is not there or not. I don't want him to be there, to be quite honest. This is about Randy Orton and Cody. This is Cody's moment and Randy's moment. We need a match like this. Has to be at SummerSlam. Don't save it for Mania. Please don't. I was gonna say Mania of next year, but my sister was like, nah. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. WrestleMania actually doesn't deserve it. You know what does? SummerSlam. SummerSlam deserves it. Or even the Royal Rumble or Survivor Series. Those pay-per-views deserve it. I don't think WrestleMania deserves a Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Why? You think WrestleMania deserves a match like that? No, I don't think it does. Why? Because WrestleMania, look, most people are like, that sounds like a WrestleMania match. It does. But when you look at the previous WrestleManias, do you really think they give a fuck about putting matches like that? Look at this card. How many cards that we had? How many matches we had in this match? How many matches we had in this event that should just be SmackDown or Raw matches? So, for that point of view, and for me, I'd be like, you don't deserve it, Mania. You don't. You don't deserve it. Either Royal Rumble deserves it more, or SummerSlam deserves it more. You know, the only way I could see them fight at Mania if Cody or Randy has the title. And you know what? Give Randy the title. Give Randy the title, and he could drop it to Cody. That would be perfectly fine in my opinion. It writes itself, guys. It writes itself. And everyone has been saying Randy should be champion again. Why not? And even people are saying that we all know Randy will be champion again, and we all know John Cena might come back from one more run to be champion. So come on. Come on. And it would be great if John Cena comes back to fight Cody Rhodes. Oh. I'll see that match. You got me intrigued. I'll actually will watch that match. Oh yeah. Because guys, think about it real quick. This is Cody. This is AEW Cody, not the Stardust Cody. So what I have to say about that is that you basically having WWE versus AEW right now. Technically, you know, I like to think about that sometimes. But hey, you know, that's just the wrestling fan in me. That's just the wrestling fan in me. Some people might be like, "Oh, fuck you" and all that, but at that point, you're not a wrestling fan because you're not having fun. And look, a lot of people are like, "Oh, but fuck that fantasy booking type shit." Yeah, fuck the fantasy booking between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Yeah, fuck that fantasy match. Fuck that dream match. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I fucking thought, you fucking hypocrite, fucking piece of shit. Seriously, it's very hypocritical. You think that's not a dream match, but yeah, you have another dream match that people want, and you might not, and then you might or might get it, but then when people want to get this, you want to talk shit. Either because you already got it, or you don't have it at all, which just makes you even more salty. So again, Cody and Seth went out there, had a ball. And the way it ended too was pretty dope. Cody comes in with the twist of days, end of days, twist of days. But that was a good match between both of them. And to be honest, Seth and Cody are pretty much the same height, same type of form of wrestler. So it was pretty good to see two guys that had the same similar move sets in a way fight each other. Sorry about that. This is taking a little bit long to roll this shit. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We have all day here, people. Just a review. My thoughts and my opinions of WrestleMania. So, after this match, man, I was already tired at this point, to be quite honest. I wanted to go to bed at 9:30. The show was way too fucking long. Way too long. But good match between Cody and Seth. So, really good match. Really, really good match. So, the next match. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Woo! Woo! These two women, you know what? To be quite honest, I'm surprised how it ended. I am. I'm surprised how it ended. I was suspecting Ronda to go in there and beat Charlotte. But no. Charlotte literally kicked Ronda's ass. That's what I saw. And I was looking at it like, I mean, they were both fighting each other and both kicking their asses. But at the same time, do we really need a rematch of these two fighting? Why we need a rematch of these two fighting? To be quite honest. Is this going to last all the way up to SummerSlam? I hope not. I hope not. This better end at Backlash. I mean, I must say I'm not gonna watch it. But hey, if I do, I do. But still, like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just me. I think we should have just gotten Bianca and Becky at this point, at this part of the stage of the match. Match called booking. And also, speaking of booking, you should have just had Becky versus Ronda anyways. But no! Because people would have cheered for Becky and booed Ronda. No shit. I wonder what that is. Oh, but Ronda doesn't want to be booed. Ronda, you don't want to be booed if you are a heel? But what if I'm a good guy and people still boo me? Let them. John Cena went through it and he look at him. Eats a bucket of ice cream. Hey, we're not seeing it. And I think that's the best part of it. And the thing is too, I have to say this too. WWE, stop getting wrestlers that are just flaky, meaning that are snowflakes, because every time if I'm a bad guy, I'm suspecting people to boo me and talk shit about me if I'm a bad guy and going after their favorite wrestler, you know? Oh, but they said this on me on the internet. Get off the internet. You're a wrestler, dude. Tell that. Imagine social media was back in the day in the fucking 40s, and a wrestler had to go through that. A wrestler would have been like, man, fuck these people. Or to be honest, that wrestler, if he really got in his feelings, would have went to one of those motherfuckers and beat the living shit out of him. Because that's how was wrestling back in the day, man. It was ruthless. The thing is, too, to be quite honest, if I was in wrestling, I would actually have that mentality of the, like, ruthless of being a wrestler. Because if you try to fuck with me any way you can, I will literally beat the living shit out of you. I don't care what spot I am. I don't care if I'm a mid-carder. Try to fuck with me, I will beat the living shit out of you. I don't care if you're Undertaker. I don't give a fuck if you're the Big Show. I will knock you down. People don't understand, man. When I fight crazy. I don't take no prisoners. Alright? Everyone falls when I'm around. Everyone falls. Alright? I'm talking about the people that fuck me over. You know? I'm not talking about my friends or anything like that. They just be watching and be like, yo, I'm not touching that. Because they be in the background being like, yo, get him. He fucking deserves it. You know? Because we all have that type of friend that, you know, that doesn't really fight all that much, but if he gets fucked over or someone tries to fuck with him, they'll be good at fighting and you just watch him and be like, yo, man, that guy's fucked. Yeah. We all have that friend. And we all know that type of wrestler, too. That's like that. There are still wrestlers like that, too, still to this day. I mean, some of them are old, yeah. But some of them grew up with wrestlers that are like that. And some of them had parents that were like that. So, in a way, they're kind of like that, too. Not all the time, because the times that they were born. Like, say if I was born in 93, and my father grew up with that type of wrestling mentality because his father was like that. I will probably get that rubbed on me, but not as much as he did, you know? So, it's like that. So, there was that. So Ronda versus Charlotte. Again, I wasn't shocked that Charlotte won. I literally thought, I mean, it kind of makes sense that the blondie won and not the brunette. I want to say this one thing, Vince. You want to put the blonde or the brunette almost last, but you don't want to put the redhead or the sister, the black sister, the quote unquote black, because if you really point that out in a spiritual way, we're not black people are not really black, Hispanic people are not really black. We're actually Anunnaki. So you're gonna have an Anunnaki sister, an Atlantean sister, not being almost in the main event of WrestleMania, and a redhead. You have an Irishman and a sister, and they're not fighting for like almost the title in the main event. To me, that was more of a main event than these two. But hey, man, that's your priority, I guess, WWE. It's like, no, people want to see the blonde and the brunette last. They don't want to see the redhead and the black chick. You see how you see? I mean, we all know WWE's racist. We all know that, guys. I mean, that's not a secret. That is not a secret. At this point, it's not. If they're so racist, then calm down. Calm down. All right? Trust me, if it was back in the 80s or 70s and 60s, trust me, none of these probably wrestlers won't even get a time of day. Seriously, you just see blonde and brunettes in the main event. I am dead fucking serious. Alright? Seriously. So moving on, I thought the match was fine. Both women looked sexy. They looked fine as fuck. Alright? So, moving on to the main event. And I don't want them to fight again, to be quite honest. Charlotte and Ronda, but if it's gonna happen, just let it end at Backlash Mania or Mania Backlash. Just let it end there, please, please. Kind of loud. I think my sister fell asleep during this match. And my sister was dead asleep after this because again the show went too long. I thought they were gonna save this for the next night because the Ronda and Charlotte match, I was just like, okay, we're done. This is over. Bye. WrestleMania ends. Cuts to black. And I'm like, we're still going to keep going? We're still going to keep going. Guys, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. I don't want to go to 12 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning for the show to end. Fuck you. God. It's so... The biggest problem I have with modern WWE in the 3-hour bullshit that they use for WrestleMania. Sometimes it's 5 hours or 6 hours. Great. I think one time it was 8 hours. Man. So Austin versus Kevin Owens. Yo, you know what? This match was actually good. This is how you close a WrestleMania. This was good. Kevin Owens bumped like a champ. Austin bumped. I thought he was not going to take some bumps. When Kevin Owens was about to like suplex him on the concrete, I was actually pretty scared right there, to be honest. I'm like, he's actually going to, But I was still tired too, so I'm just like, when you're tired, but you're still watching the match, and you're like, damn, he took that hard. But you're still like, tired, But good on these guys, though. Good on these guys, because the crowd was tired as fuck. And people still got into it. Congratulations. Not even Triple H and Randy Orton could do that. Alright? Seriously. For real, man. A lot of people couldn't do that on WrestleMania 25 because Shawn Michaels and Undertaker just stole the fucking show that night. So at that point, everyone should have went home. Even the commentators. Even they admitted, I'm exhausted. So I thought this started like a segment, and I was just like, oh, please don't let this be a segment. Have Austin do the stunner, and then that's it. But no, this was a match. Thank you. Even the crowd went apeshit when Kevin Owens was like, I want to fight you. And everyone's like, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness. And Austin was just like, Give me a hell yeah. Basically, you know? So they fought. It was a good, like, what, 10 or 15 minutes, right? Maybe a little shorter than that. But it was still a good match. You know, they fought around the ring. They fought around the ring. They fought in the crowd. They went to the WrestleMania stage and shit like that. Suplex on one side, suplex on the other side. Kevin Owens was like, ah! I thought Austin was going to throw Kevin Owens outside of the fucking ring and shit. And then after that, you get a stunner. And then before that stunner happens, Kevin Owens did stun Austin, which I did predicted before the match ended. And people were like, oh, but the crowd was so tired, but at the same time still into it. Yeah, again, going back, it's almost like, oh. Again, what the fuck, WWE? Stop making this shit too long. Sooner or later, people are going to fall asleep and be like this in front of your fucking crowd, in front of your seats. And that's terrible. You don't want that. You don't want people in front of you and the stars, in front of the camera also, to be tired. Maybe in the back row, but not the front row. Seriously. Because the camera's not going to catch all of that shit. The camera's going to catch the front row. That's more fucking focus. So, Austin, when he came out, people went apeshit. People went like, you know? And it was a great moment. Great stuff and everything like that. Austin kicks out of the stunner from Kevin Owens. And then Austin gets up. And then he gives a stunner on Kevin Owens. And then he wins the match. And that's WrestleMania 38 Part 1. And how did I feel about it? To be quite honest, had some bumps, some missteps, but overall, good. You know, after I just talked about this, I think I should give it an 8 out of 10. After talking about it. But you know what? I'll wait until the second part of the show. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So it's still going to be a 7 out of 10. All right? So, or maybe I should increase it a little bit up. 7.5 out of 10. I think that will fit roughly well. You know, got a nice, good, solid ending. Didn't really bore people. People wanted to see what they wanted to see. We got it. And Kevin Owens had his moment. Austin had his moment. We all had our moments, you know. Even Ronda Rousey had a moment. You know, everyone had their moments here in WWE WrestleMania 38. So part 1. Well, night 1. So overall, it was good. I'm happy with it. I might just get the DVD if part 2 was great. And the thing is, too, I was thinking of the WrestleMania that didn't have a crowd. Because that's actually one of my favorite WrestleManias. And I might just get that DVD just because there's no crowd. The historic factor alone, you know? And it looks great. I don't know. The WrestleMania that didn't have no crowd looked great, to be quite honest. I loved the way it looked. I loved how it had the sign where the commentators were at and everything like that. It was a nice, unique look, you know? I didn't like the front. I didn't like the stage all that much, but, can't even blame them. They had to do what they had to do. And for what they did, and Kevin Owens going to the WrestleMania sign saying, how's this for a WrestleMania when he jumps off? That made it all that to me when that happened, that signified to me that this stage was great. I love that WrestleMania stage. Despite how I'm not much of a big fan of it, but that WrestleMania set alone right next to the commentators and people just like Kevin Owens was dropping off of it was the highlight for me. That right there was just like, yes, this is the stage for me now. Thank you. Thank you for making that. Thank you for making that stage for WrestleMania more memorable and more tolerable in a way. You know, even if there wasn't a crowd. You know, in that Randy Orton versus Edge match, yes, I still like. I don't give a fuck if anyone said, "Oh, that's too long." I wish it went longer. So, WrestleMania 38, solid. What do you guys think down below? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm about to smoke this right now. So, hey, I was going to smoke it while I was talking about it, but hey, shit happens, right? So, what do you guys thought about WrestleMania? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you thought it was fine? And tell me some of the matches that you felt about it. And the whole thing that I thought, well, how do you feel about my thoughts on some of the stuff that I pointed out with, the stereos, Logan Paul, and the whole Cody Rhodes type thing also. And look, at the end of the day, if this whole Cody Rhodes thing pans out for him, congratulations. I'm still looking at you like this because that company you're working for can just pull the rug right under you anytime they want. And you're going to have to look at them and smile. And they're going to look at you and steal your fucking wife. Because that's the company that they are. It's brutal. It's fucking brutal. I'll see you guys later.